My sister, she absolutely hates my wife-to-be. She's trying to break us apart, and let me tell you why. First of all, it's a very selfish reason, so I hope you're ready for this. She wants me to marry her best friend because she thinks we would be a better match. How are you going to tell me who to love? I already found the woman I'm going to spend the rest of my days with, but my sister just keeps meddling in my business. Here's what else she did. If it's a war against the world, one stands a solid chance of winning. But when it comes to family, I guess one cannot win even after getting the victory. Hey guys, I'm Elliot. I just turned 26 years of age, and I've honestly never done this. I share my problem with strangers online, but then again, I've never been in such a situation either. So, on a friend's suggestion, here I am writing my problem out on the internet, hoping to get some help. The family member I was talking about earlier is my beloved younger sister Elizabeth, or Liz, as I called her clearly. She is 3 years younger than me, and means the world to me. Liz is the youngest and only girl in the entire family, so naturally she's always been the baby of the family and loved by everyone. From the time that she was a little girl, our mom, dad, and even I doted on her. We adored her, showing her love and affection every time because she was special. Liz was used to getting her way because everyone wanted to make her happy. It wasn't just that we loved her too much, it was something about her. She attracted that kind of love. From the moment Liz was born, she brought joy and happiness into the lives of our family. With her rosy cheeks, twinkling eyes, and infectious laughter, she was the apple of everyone's eye. We could cuddle her, sing her lullabies, and play games with her, cherishing every moment that we spent together. I was happy to be her protective older brother, and I took the role very seriously. I watched over Liz, making sure that she was always safe and happy. I would read her bedtime stories, help her with her homework, and even play dress-up with her, much to my own embarrassment. As Liz grew older, she quickly learned that she had a special place in our family's heart. Whenever she wanted something, whether it was a new toy or a tasty treat, or simply a hug, we would bend over backwards to make her wish come true. We could never resist her charming smile and innocent plea, always eager to see her happy. Our parents, in particular, doted on her endlessly. They would shower her with gifts and praises, telling her how special and precious she was to them. It wasn't just us who adored her. Everywhere she went, she would draw attention with her bubbly personality and adorable antics. Other kids would flock to her, wanting to be her friend and join in on the fun. Even adults couldn't help but smile when they saw her skipping down the street. Her cute laughter would echo through the airs. As Liz grew older, she became even prettier. Everybody noticed Liz wherever she went. The boys would be blushing and stumbling over their words around her, hoping to make her smile, and even girls would whisper and giggle when she passed by, admiring her from afar. All in all, she was the definition of spoiled. Her every wish was my family's command, and all of her friends and boys who had crushes on her would cater to her every whim. See, I remember this one time. It was her 16th birthday. She had recently gotten into Harry Potter and wanted a Harry Potter-themed birthday. Arranging just a theme party was not a big task. However, it's Liz that we're talking about. She wanted a real Orintail, flying brooms, and the golden snitch. You get the idea. It was the next to impossible thing to have all of this, but guess what? She had it all. We had not one, but two horntails, a huge golden cake, and I have no idea how those boys managed it, but a dozen real flying brooms. This is how much Liz is used to getting everything she desires. Things remained the same way even when she went to college. She almost got every day had a date. Her assignments were already done. Not by her, of course, and she was the prettiest, pampered, popular girl on the campus. I guess I went overboard explaining about my sister, sorry. But I guess it's expected when you love your sister as much as I do. I mean, what's the problem, you may ask? Well, apart from my sister, there's just one other girl that I love just as much, and if not more, it's Claire. At the university where Liz and I were enrolled, there was another girl named Claire. She was quite different from my sister, see. Liz was the life of the party, always attracting attention with her outgoing nature and stunning looks. Claire had a more understated beauty. It radiated from within. She wasn't some flashy person like Liz, but her kindness and compassion drew people to her like a magnet. When I first met Claire, I was immediately struck by her warmth, sincerity. Unlike Liz, who could just be a bit of a handful times, with her impulsive antics. Claire was steady and reliable, somebody that I could actually always count on. As I got to know Claire better, I realized just how much we had complimented each other. I felt like the luckiest guy ever when she agreed to be my girlfriend. Our relationship was not without its challenges, of course, none is. However, what I'm supposed to do when the two most important women in my life don't get along? Oh, yes, this is my problem. So, my sister and my girlfriend are not a pretty combination. There were times where Liz's larger-than-life personality clashed with Claire's quiet strength, causing tension and misunderstandings. But through it all, Claire remained patient and understanding of it, always willing to listen and compromise. However, I cannot expect her to always put up with it. I don't want her to put up with Liz. Liz does not like Claire, and no one knows why. It isn't like Liz. She usually does well with everyone. But Claire is not the type of person to be mesmerized by Liz's charm. Despite Claire's kindness and warmth, Liz seemed to view her with a suspicion, and resentment, of course. Maybe it's because Claire was different from her, or maybe it was because she saw Claire as a threat to the attention she usually got. Whatever the reason, it made things difficult for all of us. Liz would often make snide remarks about Claire or give her the cold shoulder when she came around. She would roll her eyes or make sarcastic comments whenever Claire tried to join in on the conversation or activities. It was crystal clear that Liz did not approve of our relationship, and she was not shy about showing it. At first, I tried to brush it off, Liz's behavior, and hoped that she would come around eventually. But as time went on, her hostility towards Claire only seemed to intensify. She would go out of her way to make things difficult for Claire. Whether it was spreading rumors about her or deliberately excluding her from social gatherings, it was incredibly frustrating and hurtful to see the two most important, beautiful women in my life at odds with each other. What should I do? What can I do? I have no idea. I'm thinking about moving out or proposing to Claire. Yes, I'm going to propose to Claire. I can't imagine my life without this woman. I want to spend my forever by her side, making her happy and building a life together. And yes, Liz and I still lived with our parents, but that's simply because the house is too big, and we never thought of moving out. Once I moved out, hopefully Liz won't be able to trouble Claire as much. I'll keep their interactions to a minimum, and hopefully that'll keep the fire under control. I can't think of anything else better. Maybe once we get married, Liz will accept Claire as her sister-in-law, and they'll get along one day. I mean, there's always some sort of hope, right? Even the chances are very slim. Yesterday, I mentioned my plans to propose to Claire and move out once we're married, which mistakenly my sister heard. You can only imagine the tantrum that she threw. She starts to scream, asking me how I could think of doing this to her, and when I told her that I loved Claire and that the only reason I was thinking about moving out was because she was not ready to accept Claire as her sister-in-law. He lost it at that and said that's the reason why she would not accept Claire as her sister-in-law, as she was stealing me away from her and would soon steal everything, and she stormed off. Where did she get the idea? What do I do to make things right? Is there even a way? If yes, please let me know, guys. I'd do anything as long as I can just keep them both happy, please. Update number 1. Hey guys, I'm back with such a huge revelation. But before I tell you guys, I want to thank you for the kind comments and suggestions. I've never expected that so many people would read my story and turn to help me. It's just that the suggestions were great and would have helped me a lot until a week ago. I don't think that they can bring much change to my sister and fiancé's relationship now. Yes, I said fiancé. I proposed to Claire 2 days ago and she said yes. I couldn't be happier. It feels like a dream come true to know that I'll spend the rest of my life with her. Here's the thing. When I proposed to Claire, she did not say yes right away. Her face, it got all serious, and she said that there's something that she needs to tell me first. Trust me when I tell you this, I've never been more anxious in my entire life. She sat me down and started telling me about a guy named Mark from our college days. Sure, I remember the guy, but didn't know what he had to do with us marrying. She said that Liz had a bit of a crush on this guy Mark, but because of Liz's, well, let's call it strong personality, Mark didn't really feel the same way. Instead, he found something more interesting. He found himself interested in Claire, even though Claire didn't feel the same way about him. She made it crystal clear that there's nothing between them, ever. She didn't need to clear this out because I trust that she would have already told me if there was anything like that. So anyways, When Liz found out about Mark's interest in Claire, she did not take it very well. In fact, she blamed Claire for everything and started to really just straight up dislike her. Oh, well, now it all makes a bit of sense. Liz is not used to getting rejected or even hearing the word no. As stupid as this whole thing about her being mad at Claire for not getting the Mark guy to like her back, it sounds exactly like something my sister can do. She further said that she knows how much I love my sister, and what she means to me. Considering that there's little to no chance of her getting along with my sister, she wanted to make sure that I knew it before I thought about marrying her. Ah, that's so sweet. What can I do to make her understand that she's just as important to me? So I told her not to worry about anything and that I would take care of everything, including Liz. So, after my conversation with Claire, I knew I had to talk to Liz about it. I sat her down and explained absolutely everything that Claire had told me, hoping that she would understand, but boy oh boy, I was wrong. She gets furious. I've never seen her so mad. But then again, she never had any reason to be. Liz lost it and started shouting about how she would never accept Claire as her sister-in-law. I tried to calm her down and explain that Claire didn't do anything wrong, but she wouldn't listen. Liz can be really stubborn sometimes, and it's hard to reason with her when she's like that. And then she dropped the absolute bomb on me. So apparently, there was a friend of Liz, right? Louise. And I don't know her and have never met her, but guess what? My sweet sister wants me to marry her. She made it clear that she would only accept her as her sister-in-law. Before I could respond to this ridiculousness, she started giving me all of the reasons why she would be a better choice than Claire. I didn't hear half of it, but it sounded like she was her best friend and it would be best for her to have her, friend by her side as her sister-in-law. All in all, a list of reasons shows why marrying her friend is a good thing for her. She asked, wouldn't it be great? What was I supposed to say? Sure, why not? Let's ditch the love of my life and marry your best friend so that you can be with her for the rest of our lives? I'm kidding. I could never be this sarcastic to my little sister. I'm not sure that she would even understand sarcasm even if I did. So, like a good big brother, I explained to her that's not how marriages work, and that I would be marrying Claire because what? I love her. And then I left. I didn't even need to look back to know, that she must have been pouting. Gosh, this is really going to be difficult, guys. Please. I have no idea how to handle this. I'll keep you posted. Bye for now. Update number 2. Hey guys, it's been a few weeks. I hope you're doing well. Better than I am. First of all, you guys are hilarious. The number of comments that have turned my situation into some kind of meme is something else. Well, I'm glad at least somebody's finding pleasure in my pain, LOL. One of you have even suggested that I should ask my parents for help. Well, let me tell you, bad idea, brother. Very bad. Did I not explain enough in my first post when my sister is like this? I agree that I'm equally guilty, but my parents made her this adorable pink monster that she is, I won't lie. I'm concerned that if I went to them to take care of my sister, there's a chance that they too would suggest I marry her best friend or at least give it a try. I know, it's toxic, but only one girl in the entire family, right? Remember, I can't blame either of them. So anyways, it's been 2 weeks since I last wrote to you guys. I've been busy planning for the wedding with the love of my life, my fiancé. And let's just say Liz is not making it easy. I mean, I knew she would not let things go, but honestly, I didn't expect her to make it this hard. So, as the day of my wedding to Claire drew closer, Liz's disapproval of our relationship became more evident. At first, it was little things like forgetting to pass on messages from Claire or making subtle comments that hinted at her disapproval. But as time went on, Liz's actions became more deliberate. It all started with simple tricks. Liz would conveniently forget to invite Claire to family gatherings or leave her out of the group chats. She would deliberately try to make her look bad and embarrass her in front of my family and relatives. I remember how once everybody was sitting for dinner together when she said to Claire, "Since you're going to be my sister-in-law, now I guess we should start making girl trips to the salon together." Gosh knows you need it. I know it seemed like a friendly gesture at first, but it was a very low comment of hers. Well, and mind you, my fiancé is really pretty. She would make snide remarks about Claire when she thought I wasn't listening, hoping to plant seeds of doubt in my mind about our relationship. But as the wedding day approached, Liz's actions became more serious. She started spreading rumors about Claire even, saying hurtful things about her to anybody who would listen. She would twist her innocent actions into something bad, all in an attempt to make her look bad in my eyes. I've been trying to ignore Liz's behavior, hoping to not upset anyone, and surprisingly Claire agreed, but guess what? When after Liz's so many tricks, nothing happened, who did she invite to stay with her at her home? Louise! Yeah, her bestie that she wants me to marry. She had already been trying to push me towards her indirectly. Whenever we would sit together to talk, she would always bring her friend Louise up. Over and over and over. In the conversations we would have, and she would talk about Louise's good qualities and how much she thought that we would get along. See, she once even made plans for all four of us to chill, hang out together, and deliberately told Claire a later time. But did not come either, leaving me and her friend alone. I didn't dislike Louise or mind spending time with her, but Liz was pushing us together for all of the wrong reasons, and I had my beautiful fiancé's emotions to take care of anyways, and put those into consideration. As the wedding day got closer, Lynn's actions became more desperate. She started making up stories about Claire cheating on me for being unfaithful, hoping to provoke a reaction from me. I remember how once Claire was going to somewhere out, and Liz started insisting on coming along with her. Claire was visiting her friend's grandmother in the hospital, and everyone knows Liz is not a suitable company for such visitations. When Claire refused, she loudly commented so everybody could hear, "You sure you are going to visit your friend's grandma and not your secret lover?" It was really embarrassing for Claire to hear such a thing in front of her future in-laws. She would often manipulate situations to make it seem like Claire was the cause of our problems, even when it was clear that was not the case. And when I would confront her about her behavior, she would just brush it off as her concern, was for my well-being. I just didn't expect Liz to understand what Claire means to me. In a household where everybody could only talk about Liz, Claire was the first one to see me. I'm not jealous of Liz or have any hard feelings against her, but it is true that where Liz is used to getting special treatment from everyone. Claire's the only person who makes me feel special, so I cannot take her disrespecting my fiancé like this not for a second longer. So, one day after she had made particularly snide remarks about Claire, I confronted her and our conversation quickly turned into a heated argument. Our parents intervened and my father scolded her. This was a first in our family. Nobody had ever scolded or shouted at Liz. However, this was important because in the end she apologized to Claire and us and promised to not let such things repeat. Things have been quiet, however. The problem is that they're too quiet. I feel guilty for treating my sister like this, but it's equally scary to think about whether she would still do anything to ruin my relationship with Claire. Because as far as I know, I'm sure that she must blame Claire for her first ever scolding from me and her parents. I don't know what to think or do. Did I do the right thing, or do you guys think that I messed up even more? Please let me know down below, and I'll update you. Update number 3. Hey guys, I'm here for an update. This one's going to be a short one. I just got married. I wish I could share the news with more of an enthusiasm and excitement. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy that I finally got married to the love of my life. However, I'm writing this from the backseat of my car and I'm on my way to cut ties with my sister today. And it breaks my achy heart to, every time I think about it. I'll tell you guys from the beginning what happened. It's been a month since I last wrote to you. You remember me confronting my sister and asking her to leave my fiancé alone, and my parents scolding her for causing trouble. My sister turned really quiet after that. It was so quiet that it was concerning. At first, I thought it was simply because she, wasn't used to being scolded, and maybe she learned her lesson, but there was something telling me all along that something was wrong. Nobody would have been happier than me if I had been proven wrong. Unfortunately, I wasn't. It was the morning of my wedding day, and everything seems to be going great. All of the arrangements were perfect. My sister had apologized to Claire to her toast during the wedding rehearsal, and everybody was happy. Yet there was this sense of impending doom. About half an hour before the wedding started, I had this sudden urge to meet Claire. I knew I would be seeing her in a bit, and it isn't considered good luck to see your bride in the bridal outfit before marriage, but I had to see her. I don't know why. I could only thank the heavens that I decided to go along with my sudden urge, because what I had found once I reached my bride's room shook me to the core. There was a guy trying to get frisky with her while she was clearly struggling to get away from him. I had seen the guy before but did not quite place it, nor did I care. I pulled him away from Claire and started beating him to a pulp. I don't remember for how long I was beating him before my father and cousin's brother came and pulled me apart from what seemed like a dying pulp-looking man. My cousin had already called the cops, and they arrived right after I had been pulled apart. They arrested him and started to take him away. That's when I remembered where I had seen the guy. I didn't want to believe it. So I stopped them and asked the guy directly, "Who asked you to do this?" That man looked at me with shock. And the rest of the people were all looking confused, and my worst fear came to reality. He uttered, Elizabeth. My sister asked him to do this to my fiancé. I'd seen him with my sister before, but I didn't want to believe that she could stoop so low. The police took him away, and I asked my mother to ask for help taking my sister away. I hugged my soon-to-be wife and asked her if she would still like to marry me. I don't know why I did deserve it, but she said yes. I got married an hour ago to my wife, and she's the most beautiful, kind, loving soul I've ever met, and now I'm on my way to fight for her honor and respect that my sister tried to ruin me. Final update. Hey guys, this is it. Final update. It's been a year, and I just remembered this account. I didn't want to recall the memories of the painful experience for too long, but considering you guys have been with me through my journey, you have a right to know what happened, so here you go. After getting married to my wife, I first went to the police station with my father and wife, only because she insisted on coming alone. Well, we met that guy, Alex, and I asked him to tell us the truth, the cold, hard truth. Otherwise, my wife would file serious charges against him. This was enough to get him yapping. It turns out, as I feared, my sister had a grudge against my wife for what happened that day when we scolded her, and she was ready to go to an extent to get back at her. Alex liked her, and she knew it, so she agreed to go out with him if she got him to pretend to be intimate with my wife in front of all the guests, leading them to believe that she was cheating on her wedding day. Well, he agreed. However, before anybody could see them, I called him, and I didn't want to believe a single word coming out of that jerk's mouth. However, I knew he was telling the truth. So, we then left for our home, and my father slapped my sister. When we confronted her, she got angrier and tried to attack Claire. It was at that moment that we all realized how much of our love had ruined her. I announced that I'm cutting ties completely with Elizabeth. I no longer consider her my sister. My wife wanted to sue her for defamation, and she had my full support. Then my father did something I did not expect. Our father announced that he's excluding her from his will forever, or at least that she's genuinely changing her ways. He might change his mind. Elizabeth fell to her knees and started to cry, asking him to forgive her. But, it was too little too late. I took my wife's hand and we left. It was so painful to still be staying there. So, this is what happens. Me and my wife have been living in our separate apartment. It isn't as big as my father's house, but hey, it's full of love. We've been living peacefully since then, and we're looking forward to sharing this peace and love with a third member pretty soon. Yes, my wife is expecting, that's right. I hope I have a beautiful baby girl who's just as kind and compassionate as her mom. As for Elizabeth, the last I heard about her was that she was living with her aunt in a different city. I don't know whether or not she let her hatred for Claire go, but I hope she would not let it consume her and ruin her life because of it. Well, this is my story. Thank you once again for the support. Goodbye.